Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's March 18th, 2017. The big headline today, a Saturday, the death of Chuck Berry, the pioneer of rock and roll music. If you follow my blog, earlier this morning, I put out a post on what March 18th has to do with Jesus Christ. And now that I saw this headline, I thought, I wonder if today's death will correspond with the lesson that I put on my blog about Jesus Christ in today's date, March 18th specifically. And a number that represents Jesus Christ in Gematria is 151, and today happens to be exactly 151 days after Chuck Berry's 90th birthday. We'll talk about what's so interesting about dying at age 90 in regards to Jesus Christ. But today's 151 days from Chuck Berry's birthday. I just want you to see what this headline sums to in Gematria that CNN has up. 151 in English ordinal, the alphabetic order. These other numbers are very relevant as well. Jesus Christ also shares this gematria of 151. And with regards to the headline and the 227 coded into it, let me take you back to that. This 227 is very relevant to today's date. We're going to talk about how this all connects to Christ, but I just want to show you something on the calculator real quick. If you divide 22 by 7, you get the number for pi. I put out a Pi Day lesson video for March 14th. If you have a minute to check that out, I'll link it in the description. 22 divided by 7, shorthand way to get the approximation of pi. If you divide 22 by 7, you get that number. If you do the opposite, if you divide 7 by 22, you get something that looks like today's date, 0.31818, this repeating pattern, March 18th, 318. And we're going to talk about how 318 seems to have a connection with cycles and circles, very much like pi. This is the opposite equation. So anyway, CNN, even in their headline, codes the 151 in. We'll get to how his death truly is 151 days from his 90th birthday, and we're going to connect 90 to 33, the age Jesus Christ reportedly died at on the cross. So here's the CNN headline, just like we covered. 151 is the 36th prime number. Prime numbers only divisible by themselves in 1. 151, the 36th prime. If you sum the numbers 1 through 36 together, it totals 666. 666, the number of the beast. Let me show you something about rock and roll and number of the beast. Rock and roll has this gematria of 174, also 123 like conspiracy. Number of the beast shares this gematria of 174. See that? We'll put all of this together by the end. I'm just sharing some knowledge along the way. Number of the beast, 666. If you didn't catch that, number of the beast also has gematria of 66. Revelation, the 66th book of the Bible, is where it teaches or says the man with wisdom will know how to calculate the number of the beast. Number of the beast, 66. The verse begins, here is wisdom, period. Here is wisdom, gematria of 66. The 147 is no coincidence either. This is a coded tribute to Freemasonry. There's 147 windows in the White House, and not by accident. But let's stay on point with Chuck Berry. Chuck Berry dead 151 days from his birthday. His name, Gematria, has some very interesting numbers. All of these numbers are interesting. Focus on the 156. If you write out 33 as a word, it sums to 156. Also, 66, that number is showing up a lot. Special number. The Bible of 66 books. We're talking about Jesus Christ. If you write out 90, he died at age 90, 151 days after his 90th birthday. 90 has the gematria of 33, like Jesus Christ dead at age 33. And God's Son, gematria of 33, Jehovah, 33, Bible 33, Sunday 33, just Son 33. Whole lot of 33 in the Bible. Bible begins with Genesis. When you write out 33, it sums to 66. 66 books in the Bible. The New Testament's the second half of the Bible. New Testament has the 66 gematria. Sorry, don't want to get too far off topic, but there's just so much to share that's relevant, in case you're new here. So anyway, 90, that's his age of death. Chuck Berry, godfather of rock and roll. By the way, with regards to 33, we should have hit this before. Rockstar 33. Is the Rock and Roll Museum in Cleveland? Is that where the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is? Is it in Cleveland, Ohio? If it's not in Cleveland, I apologize, but I know it's in Ohio, and I want to show you something about Ohio. Ohio has gematria 47, just like rock. And with regards to Freemasonry, the compass in their symbol with the G in the middle, compass surrounding the G with the square at the bottom, the 90-degree square. The compass is set at 47 degrees. The Freemasons have something called the 47th problem of Euclid about how to establish foundation. Foundation has the gematria of 47. Interestingly, also 151. Christian has the gematria of 47. So many things do. It's 47, very special number. In case you're new here, check out my videos. You'll learn a lot more in no time at all. So anyway, Chuck Berry born on the 18th of October. We're talking about 33, Rockstar 33. If the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is in Cleveland, Cleveland's one of the only 33 cities in the nation. October is the only month with 33 gematria, his birth month. October's got that 33 connection as well. So anyway, born on the 18th, dead on the 18th. We were talking about number of the beast and rock and roll. Number of the beast is 666. 18 factors into 6 plus 6 plus 6. The verse about calculating the number of the beast is Revelation 13:18. The date he was born, October 18th, 1926. Date was 73 and 46 numerology. The word sacrifice equals 73 and 46. The date he's died, date with 58 numerology. Freemasonry equals 58. Secret society. The word father. They call him the father of rock and roll. Today's date also has a 38 numerology. 38, common number found around these suspicious deaths by the numbers. So often they're on dates with 38 numerology. So many times in history, one of these celebrities of course, Chuck Berry's died at age 90, and that's a ripe age to live to. He lived a very healthy, long life compared to so many others. So congratulations to him and RIP to him. But what I'm saying is these people, they are so often killed by the numbers, and very times at younger ages. And you murder a 90-year-old man, nobody's going to think twice about it, that there'd be anything suspicious that a 90-year-old passed away. They could tell you anything. And what I've noticed is all the articles so far right now, they don't report a cause of death. I'm sure that'll come out, but they're saying he's dead. They haven't said why. They've just said he died near his home in St. Louis, Missouri. But anyway, 38, number of death. Talk about it all the time on this channel. See the work I just did on the passing of Notorious B.I.G., his new album coming out, Freemasonry, Jay-Z, and many other videos. See how I called the death of Prince more than a year ago. Had a lot to do with the number 38. So St. Louis, where he died, on the 38th parallel. Today's got the 38 numerology. St. Louis also on the 90th meridian. From his birthday, October 18th, the day he turned 90, to today, 151 days. Jesus Christ, 151. Today, March 18th, is the 77th day of the year. The word Christ equals 77. We're going to talk about the relationship with 318 and Christ in the Bible in just a moment. CNN's reporting Chuck Berry, a music pioneer often called the father of rock and roll, was found dead Saturday at a residence outside St. Louis. Police in St. Charles County said he was 90. A post on the St. Charles County Police Facebook page said officers responded to a medical emergency at a residence around 12:40 p.m. Saturday and found an unresponsive man inside. Unfortunately, the 90-year-old man could not be revived and was pronounced deceased at 1:26 p.m. Notice that's 46 minutes later. 46 minutes later. I just showed how his birth numerology was 73 and 46. The word sacrifice has gematria 46. Vanity, last year, vanity equals 46. She died on the 46th day of the year. I talked about how the day she died, the number 67 was connected to Prince and her. Prince ended up dying a span of 67 days later. What else I know about this 126 number? This number shows up a lot around sports championships. And right now, the sporting event taking place is the men's basketball tournament. And there might be some greater riddle here. What teams are in the tournament from Missouri, have Missouri connections? I wouldn't be surprised if this man's death is going to somehow be connected to the championship game. And it might be very transparent by the time we see what teams are there. But this number, again and again, related to sports championships. And we know how celebrities drop dead around the time of sports championships of all ages. There's some interesting things coded into 90 in the language of gematria. 90 has the 113 coding, number of Scottish Rite Freemasonry. Notice how Scottish also shares gematria with Freemasonry. If you missed my work on Notorious B.I.G.'s death, Tupac Shakur's, and many others in 139, check that out. Notorious B.I.G. and his wife, who's still living, or ex-wife, Faith Evans, they have an album coming out on the 139th day of the year. The final track has a gematria of 139, not by coincidence. Common coding from Freemasonry. You learn this code, you see how often these numbers are put into these rituals. Very memorable rituals. Deaths of celebrities. So anyway, Scottish Rite also has gematria 57, like Chuck Berry, like conspiracy. A lot of Freemason and conspiracy coding goes together. But for the most interesting part, March 18th, the 77th day of the year, and Christ. Christ equals 77. This number 318 is referenced in Genesis 14:14. We talked about 318 being the reverse of pi and circles in the beginning. If you write out wheel, it sums to 318 in the language of gematria. What this says here with English gematria, this was before Derek's Gematrinator came out. On Derek's Gematrinator calculator, this method's called Sumerian gematria. It's the same technique. It's the alphabetic order times 6. The word wheel, which has a lot to do with circles, 318. And again, how this connects to the reverse of pi. Of course, pi has everything to do with circles. We were talking about how the headline in the beginning also had the 227 pi coding within it. So to the Gnostics, the number 318 represents the word for Christ. That's interesting because, there's so many parallels between Gnosticism and Christianity. paganism, all these overlaps. Here, this is the most interesting part about this. The second coming of Jesus Christ is mentioned approximately 8 times more frequently in the Old Testament and New Testament than his first coming. In fact, Christ's second coming is mentioned 318 times in the New Testament alone. The only doctrine mentioned more than the doctrine of Christ's second coming is the doctrine of salvation. All of the 9 authors of the New Testament mention Christ's second coming. So 318 times the return of Christ mentioned. March 18th, the 77th day of the year. And again, with regards to New Testament, in Gematria, New Testament sums to 42, just like the word Freemason. And if you read the New Testament, it begins with Matthew, and the way it begins are with the 42 generations leading up to Jesus. You know? With regards to Freemasonry and the calendar we're on, this all being synced up, Freemasonry equals 58. The word calendar has Gematria 58. We are on the Gregorian calendar system, which comes out of the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church. I hope I'm still recording. Sometimes the screen paused, and sometimes it means... Sometimes if you ever see my videos just jump, it's because I was talking while the screen was doing its pause thing and it wasn't really recording. So anyway, in case you missed what I just said, we were talking about Freemasonry in the Gregorian calendar. Gregorian, we're on the Gregorian system, has Gematria 58, like calendar, like Freemasonry, like secret society. Secret society also has the Gematria of 77. Here we are on the 77th day of the year. The meridian that runs through Washington, D.C. is the 77th meridian. Special number. Okay, so a few more interesting things about 318. Do you see this word salvation right here? Salvation. I want to talk about the gematria of salvation real quick. Salvation in ordinal sums to 113. Special number to Freemasonry. Scottish 113. A lot of Freemasonic signatures on the Bible as we know it in English. And let's not forget, English equals 74. Just like gematria, this ancient practice, way older than English. Gematria 74. Just like Masonic, gematria mostly a Jewish practice. Masonic history is Jewish history. So many things are 74 in the history of this nation. Think about Independence Day on 7/4, holidays 74, Independence Day 74. Special number. Out of the 50 states, only the 33rd state sums to 74, and that's Oregon. Think about Jesus on the cross at 33. Oregon, the 33rd state, Jesus 74, Cross 74, Messiah 74, Gospel 74, the English translation of Jesus is Joshua 74, the Greek spelling is Yeshua 74, and there's more. But anyhow, check this out. 113, Dan Barrett. If you don't know this channel, Dan Barrett learned from me years ago. He's a brilliant mind. He makes so many great discoveries with gematria. Check out Dan Barrett's YouTube channel. If you come to my blog, up here, Dan Barrett's YouTube channel is linked. You can get to his channel right through my blog. It'll always be there. So anyway, Dan Barrett made some really great finds. If you write second coming of Jesus Christ, it equals 113. Let's just verify it. Second coming of Jesus Christ, 113. Also notice the 139 like Freemasonry. Let's bring it back. Where's the other one? If you write out 318, you know what we're talking about. 318. And this 318 thing, the return of Jesus, it relates to salvation. And interesting how salvation has the 58 coding like Freemasonry. You know, to me, it's like if you want to reach salvation, you got to live by the golden rule. Golden rule 113. You live by the golden rule, everything will be taken care of. Well, that's not true because some people will take advantage of you, but you know what? Spiritually, you'll be set if you live by the golden rule. So, anyhow, I'm going to link these posts. You can read all this information again. Some interesting things in history on this date. This was a Friday no, it couldn't have been. Oh, that's interesting. I'd have to double check this one. I'm not sure that that's correct. Maybe I posted something incorrect there. But I'll link these blog posts if you want to read these over. Princess Diana, dead on August 31st, a date written 31/8. If you've never seen my work on the death of Princess Diana, all by the numbers. When you write out 77th meridian, it equals 318. How amazing is that? You know, March 18th, the 77th day of the year. Remember, the United States of America, English established all around the same time. When this country was rolling out, so was the English language. All right, let's transition into the death of Auntie Fee. Thank you, Sean Manning. Sean Manning pointed this out to me. He wrote, YouTube star Auntie Fee dies at 59. I know why. Thank you. Valuable information. And he's saying what he's learned here is valuable information. I've taught about how 59, it's sad what I'm teaching, but I'm teaching this because knowledge is power, and the only way we're going to stop this sickness is by recognizing what's going on. 59, number stamped all over black people throughout history. Number people have died by. Today, Auntie Fee died. Well, it's today's news. It came out today, the date with 38 numerology, the death numerology. She died on the Ides of March, March 15th, the date Julius Caesar reportedly assassinated in 44 BC. Anyhow, 59, number stamped on black people, connected to killing. They're saying she died on the 74th day of the year, Ides of March, March 15th. She's known for a cooking channel on YouTube, Cooking 74, just like Killing, just like Masonic. Talked about 74. She died on the 74th day of the year. Just so you can appreciate this, Julius Caesar, Caesar 47, reportedly killed in 44 BC on the 74th day of the year. The word president has this gematria 47. You know, government 47, White House 47. Look at Donald Trump. Look up where Donald Trump was the night of the election in the 47-story Midtown Hilton Hotel. These are all Masonic rituals. The Masonic compass set at 47 degrees. The solstices used to tell time are measured by the tropics, which are 47 degrees apart. Winter solstice, summer solstice, the word time gematria 47. Very relevant number. Jesus has a lot of parallels with time. I put out a video on that 2 weekends ago. Check it out. Jesus and time. But anyhow, 59, this number stamped on black people, dead at 59. Negro, slave, jigaboo, you know, this insulting term. Blues, Rasta, Motown Records came out in 59. I just put out a video on Magic Johnson, his AIDS, HIV. Well, he never got AIDS, but him being born in 59 and HIV being traced back to 59 out of the Belgian Congo. They say HIV traces back to 1959 in the Belgian Congo. This number stamped on black people throughout history. Same year Magic Johnson born. Check out the video I put out. Lots of interesting information. Anyway, just talking about this. Days later, this woman dead at age 59. She was 59. She was born May 7th in 1957. I had to look up her birthday. Interesting, born 5/7 and 57. Her birth name, Felicia Odell, which happens to have gematria 57. You know, we were just talking about this number. Sometimes things can work out organically, though, you know? But they said what happened to her is she had a massive heart attack, she survived the massive heart attack, and then she died almost a week later on the Ides of March, March 15th. And again, that's a date known with killing. Her last video was uploaded March 6th, 2017. Last video. That was a date with 46 numerology. They haven't specified what date she had her heart attack. Also, this was just pointed out by another reader today. Douglas, thank you. Douglas said, please everyone watch the Cleveland Show Season 4, Episode 2. It's called Menace to Society. It's called Menace to Secret Society. Menace to Society, film that came out in the 90s. Menace to Secret Society is this episode, which aired November 4th, 2012. It's about, Douglas writes, it's about how rappers and celebrities are killed if they don't obey. We know these shows tell you what's going on, but most people look at it as a cartoon and laugh it off. So this was season 4, episode 2, kind of like 42, Freemason 42, History 42, Knowledge 42, Secrecy 42. The date of this episode, November 4th, 2012, date with 47 numerology. Freemason, compass, and square, the secret society, set at 47 degrees. We've been exposing how Freemasonry runs the music recording industry, hip-hop, and more, and it seems that, again and again, these people are murdered by the Masonic numbers. Just talking about this with Notorious B.I.G. And again, here is the Freemason compass and square, 47 degrees, 90 degrees, that's 137 total degrees. At the Gematrinator calculator, which I'll link below, if you click the numbers part and you type in a number, you can get the prime number relationships, 137, the 33rd prime, 137 degrees around the big G. There's something called Francis Bacon gematria where the lowercase and uppercase letters have different values. Lowercase a through z's 1 through 26, uppercase a through uppercase z's 27 through 52, big G's 33. You know, you got 137 degrees around the big G representing 33. The tropics, which measure the solstices that are used to tell time, 47 degrees apart. You know, all of these numbers having real world value and tributes. Whole lot of important information. I'll link this all down below. I think we covered it all, Truth Seeker. Until next time.